The views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal, and do not reflect the views of any organization. Hello and welcome to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. Rajdeep Sardesai ko gussa kyun aata hai? Why does Rajdeep Sardesai get angry? Well, lots of reasons. Among them, when netas decide to police my food habits, where the state and government decides what I can or cannot eat, tries to enter my kitchen, or indeed polices shops and restaurants across the country. To me, it is unconstitutional and it is prima facie illegal, a violation of my right to privacy and personal liberty guaranteed by the Constitution. Or maybe it is because I do a show called Elections on My Plate, where I decide what I can eat or not eat on my plate. No one else does. Certainly, my message to netas therefore has always been stay out of the kitchen. Unfortunately, we now have netas once again doing food policing, particularly from the ruling BJP. So you've got in Karnataka a BJP MLA and secretary called CT Ravi, who wants a boycott of halal meat. Then in Delhi, you've got the BJP MP Parvesh Verma, who wants a nationwide ban on meat during Navratras, backed by two mayors of the national capital. There are no shortage of food policemen, it seems, at the moment. Well, to these food policing netas, since this is the foundation day week of the BJP, let's start with the story of the founder of the BJP, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, himself a great foodie. Now, Mr. Vajpayee loved his non-veg food. He loved stir-fried prawns, loved fried fish, loved chicken. And I remember traveling with Mr. Vajpayee on an official tour to New York. In those days, the media did accompany the Prime Minister, not on a junket, but to get access and information from the government at the time. Now, in one such interaction with the Prime Minister on board the plane, Mr. Vajpayee turned to me and asked me what I was looking forward to in New York. So I said, sir, I'm looking forward to the fine restaurants of New York. So he said, what meat do you eat? And I said, sir, I love a good beef steak. Mr. Vajpayee winced a bit and then turns to Brajesh Mishra, his principal secretary, and says, Brajesh ji, ये राजदीप जी को बताइए कहाँ अच्छा steak मिलेगा in New York. Take a look at this. This is a BJP Prime Minister who himself was not a beef eater, but is asking his principal secretary to guide me where I will get the best beef steak in New York. This was typical of Mr. Vajpayee, someone who did not want to impose his views or his food habits on another person. No one called him anti-Hindu, much less anti-national. It was, my friends, a very different India. In fact, there is a wonderful story again in Sagarika Ghosh's new biography of Vajpayee, where Vajpayee is tucking into a piece of chicken at a dinner, when opposite him is the Jansangh leader Nanaji Deshmukh, and Nanaji is staying away from the chicken. So Vajpayee ji says, why aren't you eating? And he says, Nanaji says, late in the night I got Deen Dayal Upadhyay mere sapne mein aaye, came in my dreams and said, chicken mat khao. And Vajpayee ji tells Nanaji, Arey, itne bade neta, such a big leader like Deen Dayal comes in your dreams and all he says is don't eat chicken, and starts chuckling. As I said, it was a very different era. Politicians in the Vajpayee era by and large lived by the dictum Jio or Jeene Do, live and let live. The late Arun Jaitley was another BJP foodie, loved his bara kebabs and his butter chicken from Moti Mahal and ate it freely and openly, not secretly. Today there are many netas who will eat non-veg at home, but outside will pretend to be Shuddh vegetarian. It is hypocritical. But I would forgive these netas for their hypocrisy so long as they don't impose their food habits on others in public. I recall another story. I was doing a debate program with Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, the genial minister of the Modi government, and Asaduddin Owaisi. and the topic moved to beef policing, and suddenly Mr. Naqvi gets very angry and says those who want to eat beef, they should go to Pakistan and not insult our Gau Mata. I pointed out to Mr. Naqvi very gently that, sir, there are BJP netas from Northeast, from Goa, who eat beef. Will you send them to Pakistan too? Mr. Owaisi quickly jumped in and passed a classic one-liner. You see, for the BJP, he said, beef today is yummy in Goa and the Northeast, but it is mummy in Uttar Pradesh. That one-liner by Mr. Owaisi, in a sense, my friend, sums up the hypocrisies of our netas as well as India's rich food diversity. It is often projected that India is a land of vegetarians, but the truth is, as several surveys have brought out, a majority of Indians, almost 60-70%, including Hindus, are non-vegetarians. It is often a very Brahminical Hindu worldview to suggest that India is a land of solely vegetarianism. This is a country, my friends, where food tastes and cultural habits will vary from region to region. Where pork is a delicacy in Nagaland, beef is eaten in Kerala, tandoori chicken in Punjab, where old Ahmedabad will serve you the best mutton samosas on one street, but on the very next street you will get the best Shuddh vegetarian thali. Where if someone is observing Navratras in Delhi at this time of the year, many haven't even heard of it or don't celebrate it in Assam. Where you could be at the Meenakshi Puram temple in Madurai having again Shuddh vegetarian food in the temple precincts, but travel a few kilometers and there is a place called Amma's Kitchen, a restaurant that serves you the most delicious rabbit curry and crab omelets. Where a Brahmin in Bihar will serve you and eat meat on a festive occasion and a wedding, but one in Gujarat will not. Where Kashmiri Muslims and Pandits are united by their love for non-vegetarian Vazwan food. Where my late grandmother from Goa would not touch eggs but loved her fish and liked to call herself a fishitarian. This, my friends, is the essence of this great country. This is a country where we must respect the sentiments of different communities, but the best way to do that is respect each individual's right to choose what he or she wants or does not want to eat. Truth be told, these meat bans, therefore, aren't even about religious sentiments. They are about pure politics. You see, there are elections in Karnataka next year. There are MCD elections in Delhi later this year. So politics becomes a way to distract, divide and rule. As Shashi Tharoor, the Congress MP, said in Parliament the other day, these are weapons of mass distraction. Hijab one day, halal meat another day, azan the third day. Which is why one might also point out to the fact that there is a call for a meat ban during Navratras in pole-bound Delhi, but not in neighboring NCR regions like Ghaziabad or indeed in Gurugram, which remember are also in BJP-ruled states. Not just that, my friends. This month, Ramzan and Navratras are coinciding. By calling for a no sale of meat order during this period, which is unconstitutional, as I said, the signal is to Muslims that they must fall in line with the so-called majority sentiment, even if that majority sentiment is manufactured. And it is a signal to Hindus that their time has come, that they will in a sense get primacy when it comes to their food habits and cultural behavior. In effect, my friends, the aim is, as always, to create a Hindu-Muslim divide on the ground, a religious divide, this time over food. My point is simple. If someone wants to eat halal meat, please let them. I certainly, when I go and eat a sheikh kebab, don't say whether it's halal or jhatka. But if someone wants to eat halal, let them. If someone wants to eat jhatka meat, please let them. Just as there are restaurants that will offer possibly only halal certified meat, there will be restaurants that offer only vegetarian food. In fact, there are societies in Mumbai, Jain societies, that will not allow even onion and garlic to be used in those houses. At the end of the day, freedom of choice, my friends, that is what is the essence of a liberal democracy. That is what is the essence of a multi-religious society that our constitution makers envisaged India to be. Not a Hindu Pakistan, not a single religion majoritarian state. As I said, the founder of the BJP, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, would have lived by the dictum, Jio or Jeene Do. That's what he would have told this generation of the BJP's food policing netas. Think about it. That was the straight bat. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind, Namaskar.